All right, moving on, we're going to solve systems by graphing. So we're just going to identify some solutions. When we say a system of equations, it just means two or more equations. So if you can see, there's two lines graphed on this first graph, and they intersect at a point. Solution is where they intersect. So if you look right here, that is the solution to the system. More specifically, we want to identify the coordinates. The coordinates of that point are -2, 2. That's the solution to the system. In other words, if we were to substitute -2 in for x, the y value would be 2, and that is true for both equations. So the equations listed are the equations of the lines that are graphed. If you look at those equations, notice how they have different slopes and different y-intercepts. So if you have different slopes and different y-intercepts, you're going to have one solution, and the solution is going to be a point, a set of coordinates. So this is one solution. Excuse me. All right, let's look at the next one. Again, to find the solution, we find the point where they intersect. You see, that's our point right there. The coordinates of that point are 1, 1. Again, this one has one solution, and the solution more specifically is 1, 1. If we were to substitute 1 in for x and 1 in for y, it would work for both equations. So there's, again, two examples of one solution. As you know from last week, there are other types of solutions that we may see, so let's take a look. Looking at this first one, you should notice that these lines are parallel. What do we know about parallel lines? Hopefully you're thinking to yourself, they never intersect. Well, the intersection point is a solution. If they never intersect, then this is what we call no solution. Let's look closer at the equations. If you look at the equation, look at your m values. It just says x. Remember, that's an invisible 1. So if they have the same slope, or m value, they're going to be parallel and they're not going to have a solution. There's no solution. Looking at the last one, you might be looking at it thinking, why is there only one line? Well, let's take a look. We have two equations here, but only one line. Hopefully you notice that these are the same. They both cross at 5. But now look at the slopes, 2/3 and 4/6. Well, what do you know about 4/6? If you simplify that, it simplifies to 2/3. So their slopes are the same. So this is the exact same line. It's the same line graphed on top of each other. If we graph the same line on top of each other, every single point is a solution because it's the same line. So this is what we would call infinite solutions. For infinite solutions, like we identified up here, we have the same m and the same b. They are the exact same line. But you notice the slopes may look a little different, but really when you simplify, they're the same exact slope. All right, let's move on to that independent.